As soon as word got out that the Melvin Halls recording was making the media rounds, Prime Minister Dean Barrow acted swiftly by sending out a press release in which he made it quite clear that, quote, no one should feel free to repeat Halsey's libel just because it originated with a UDP candidate. Some have already done so, as I understand, and they too will have to face the legal consequences. I will do all that is necessary to guard the good reputation that I have gathered over the long years I have been in politics and public life. End of quote. Barrow has stated that he plans to sue 2 media houses for libel for airing the recording, but according to attorney Audrey Matura Shepherd, Prime Minister Dean Barrow is wrong technically.
Now, reputation is a key issue when you want to prove slander or libel. It has to show that the person's reputation has been affected. And just as a little guidance, I'll read out of the book from the Commonwealth Caribbean Tort Law by Gilbert Cudolini, a well-known professor in the region, on his chapter 10 on the issue of defamation and libel, and it's very brief. It says, when you have libel and slander, one of the things you seek is damage. You don't only want an apology, you want money. Damage means money. It says, since libel is actionable per se, the law presumes that damage has been caused to the plaintiff's reputation, and he will be awarded general damages by way of compensation in any event. If he does not prove that he has suffered any actual loss, he will be awarded a further sum as special damages. I mean, if he can prove that he suffered actual loss. In slander, on the other hand, the plaintiff has no cause of action unless he can show he has suffered actual loss, meaning temporal or material loss. For example, that as a consequence of the defamatory statement, he has been dismissed from his employment, or that he has been refused credit by a bank. And that is why I say, for the Prime Minister, this would come under slander, and he'd have to prove what loss he has suffered. Did he lose any credit with the bank? Did he lose his job? So it's not something that just happens. The mere loss of consortium of friends or associate is insufficient. So you need to understand that there's a distinction between libel and slander. And this goes right back to our historical involvement with the common law with the British system that we inherited.
Would you say that he can't claim any damage? Do you feel like he will lose anything because of this recording?
You know what's so ironic? I don't think he will actually lose anything, because if you look at what has happened in recent time, for example, Mr. Castro has been dragged through the coals about all kind of things that has come up against him. Even when he went to court, the reports that came out of court is that he didn't stand well in how he gave testimony. But yet he was voted back in as standard bearer. The people like that kind of thing. Our people seem to not matter over that. So it would be very difficult for the Prime Minister to claim that he has lost any reputation, because clearly the people in this country don't seem to bother about whether they have a good or bad reputation. It's like they just go with whatever the lowest common denominator. So I don't know what loss he would suffer.
According to Matura Shepherd, Prime Minister Dean Barrow will have to prove to the court what damages he has lost by way of the recording being published.
It all comes under one big heading, defamation, but in our common law system, which is what we still follow, there's a distinction between what's a libel and what's slander. Libel is written and slander is what is spoken. The jury is still out as to whether a recording is actually something permanent in terms of the definition of what is libel. So I would say that one of the things for sure is that the Prime Minister, anybody who's not pleased with what Mr. Halls has said, cannot outright and say that it's libel. They'd have to go because it's spoken words, that it's slander. Libel is for newspapers. And also, what needs to be understood is that when you make a statement about a person, there are 2 things you have to consider that would be your defense: truth or fair comment. Truth usually saves you. If what was said and you repeated can be proven to be true, then there's no claim against you. Clearly, a lot of the things that Mr. Halls has said are true. You can prove it. You have seen it. I mean, it's like, for example, it is true that Ivan Ramos announced that he is leaving the PUP simultaneously with when the Prime Minister announced it at Darrell Bradley's convention. I mean, and you have to think beyond that, like, how is it possible that Dean Oliver Barrow would know before the PUPs, even the executive of this man? that he's going to resign and confidently announces it simultaneously. So that is truth. He can't sue anybody for that. No, the allegations, and I have to say allegations made specifically about Mr. Mahmoud, are serious, and it involves not only Mr. Mahmoud, it means money. It involves clearly someone else that can possibly be a minor or someone. No, that is serious. Unless you can prove it, something like that you wouldn't say. However, if there is allegation that involves use of public funds, remember I said there are two things that can be a defense. The second thing would be fair comment. And fair comment always revolves around something of public interest. So maybe you will not be able to repeat everything that was said on that recording, but you'd be able to comment to it in the context of if what Mr. Holtz was saying, because at some point he said, everything will come down to your money, meaning your money, us the people money, and clearly Petrocaribe is mentioned there, then you have a right, because that's public funds for which the government has to be accountable. So you can make certain comments, fair comments it's called.
And while as an official news entity, we have taken the position not to air Holtz's comments, and the comments have gone viral on YouTube and Facebook, the opposition People's United Party are using social media to their advantage, and it is expected that during this Friday's sitting of the House of Representatives, they will take full advantage to refer to the recording.
It doesn't matter what you do now. Technology is so advanced, people will hear that recording. And the more they say, the more the Prime Minister threatens that he will sue, the more people will find a way to get that recording. I mean, it's all over YouTube. So will he go sue YouTube now? Who will he sue?
Do you think that this is karma?
No, you're asking me to be a political guru, or maybe one of those spiritual guru.
Because he had commented on a John Bersena recording, and he went to the House saying that even though some of the media houses could not air parts of the John Bersena recording, he'll say it in the House there because the parliamentarians have immunity.
They have privilege.
And this Friday there is the House meeting.
Why, Hippolyto, I tell you, when you put it like that, it has to be karma. Because I thought about it when I recall that this Friday there'll be a House sitting, and I said, imagine, word by word, anybody can get up in that House and repeat what has been said in that recording. And because our parliamentarian system allows you immunity and privilege not to be persecuted for libel or defamation or slander with whatever you say in the National Assembly, I can just see this great opportunity leading up to a by-election. It got to be karma if you don't know what else to say. Or as some people have put on Facebook, do so no like so, or what comes around goes around. In terms of him trying to control who says what, let me tell you, that thing is viral out there. The whole world will get to hear it if they want. I don't know how he plans to stop it on YouTube. The thing is, the information is out there. And what I'm thinking about is that not only is the information out there, but now, because of the attention he has given to it, more people will want to hear it. And now, because of the way Facebook is, and YouTube and all of it, people slice the portions and just have it out there to make comments. So the horse has left the stable a long time ago, and he